Belton, Missouri, a place where life usually moves at a slower pace. But in the spring of 2007, that peaceful rhythm was shattered. 17-year-old Kara Kopetsky vanished. She was last seen leaving Belton High School. Gone. Just like that. Days turned into weeks, then months, then years. The mystery of Kara's disappearance haunted Belton. Hope dwindled with each passing season. Then, 9 long years later, another young woman vanished. Jessica Runyons, a vibrant 21-year-old, disappeared after a night out with friends. Her car was found abandoned. A chilling sense of déjà vu gripped the community. 2 young women, gone without a trace. Could their disappearances be connected? The families of both young women clung to hope, desperate for answers. They organized searches, put up flyers, and pleaded for information. But as time wore on, the agonizing truth became inescapable. Something terrible had happened. The question wasn't if they would find Kara and Jessica, but when. And the answer, when it finally came, would send shockwaves through Belton and beyond. The investigation into Kara's disappearance focused on someone she knew. Kyler Yost, Kara's ex-boyfriend, quickly became a person of interest. He had a volatile temper and a history of aggression towards women. Witnesses recounted Yost's jealousy and possessiveness. Years later, Jessica Runyons went missing, and Yost's name surfaced again. Witnesses placed Jessica with Yost the night she disappeared. The net was closing in on Yost. A wiretap captured a chilling confession. An arrest warrant was issued for Kyler Yost. The families hoped for justice. The case against Kyler Yost was building, but the whereabouts of Kara and Jessica remained a mystery. The search for their remains intensified, with law enforcement combing through countless leads and potential locations. Then a breakthrough. A tip led investigators to a remote wooded area south of Belton. It was a desolate place far from prying eyes. As they searched the overgrown terrain, a horrifying discovery confirmed their worst fears. Human remains were found scattered amongst the trees. Forensic experts worked tirelessly to identify the remains. Days later, the devastating news came. The remains belonged to Kara Kopetsky and Jessica Runyons. The long, agonizing wait was finally over, but not in the way their families had prayed for. The discovery of their remains brought a wave of grief and anger. It also brought a sense of grim closure, allowing the families to finally lay their loved ones to rest. The focus now shifted to the legal battle ahead. Prosecutors vowed to seek justice for Kara and Jessica and hold Kyler Yost accountable for his heinous crimes. The trial of Kyler Yost began in the spring of 2021. The courtroom was packed with family members, reporters, and concerned citizens, all eager to see justice served. The prosecution presented a methodical and damning case, laying out a timeline of Yost's actions and his history of violence against women. Witnesses took the stand, recounting Yost's obsessive behavior and threats towards Kara. The prosecution played the chilling wiretap recording for the jury, where Yost could be heard confessing to Kara's murder. The evidence was overwhelming. Yost's defense team tried to cast doubt on the prosecution's case, suggesting alternative explanations for the deaths of Kara and Jessica. They attempted to shift blame onto Yost's deceased half-brother, but their arguments lacked credibility in the face of the overwhelming evidence. After weeks of testimony and deliberation, the jury reached a verdict: guilty. Kyler Yost was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter in the death of Kara Kopetsky and second-degree murder in the death of Jessica Runyons. A collective gasp filled the courtroom as the verdict was read. Justice had finally been served. Section 5. Echoes of Loss. Families and communities grapple with grief. The guilty verdict brought a sense of relief and closure, but it couldn't erase the pain and loss felt by the families of Kara Kopetsky and Jessica Runyons. Their daughters, sisters, and friends were gone, taken by a senseless act of violence. In victim impact statements, family members shared their heartbreak and anger. They spoke of the daughters, sisters, and friends they had lost, and the futures stolen from them. They spoke of the pain and emptiness that would forever haunt their lives. The case of Kara and Jessica had a profound impact on the Belton community and beyond. It shined a light on the devastating consequences of domestic violence and the importance of recognizing the warning signs. It also highlighted the need for continued support for victims and their families. The families of Kara and Jessica have shown incredible strength and resilience throughout this ordeal. They have channeled their grief into advocacy, working tirelessly to raise awareness about domestic violence and to ensure that other families don't have to endure the same pain. Section 6. A Killer's Shadow. Unmasking the connection to another murder. As the dust settled after Yust's conviction, investigators began to re-examine other unsolved cases in the area. Was it possible that Kyler Yust was responsible for other acts of violence? One case in particular caught their attention. The disappearance of 29-year-old Rhonda Beckford in 1993 had haunted authorities for decades. Rhonda vanished from the same area where Kara and Jessica's remains were found. The similarities were striking. While no physical evidence directly linked Yust to Rhonda's disappearance, the circumstantial evidence was mounting. Witnesses placed Yust in the area around the time Rhonda vanished. His pattern of violence against women fit the profile. Although no charges have been filed against Yust in Rhonda's case, the investigation remains open. The families of all three women remain hopeful that one day they will have answers to the remaining questions surrounding their loved ones' disappearances. Section 7. Justice, not vengeance. The conviction and the appeals. Following the guilty verdict, Kyler Yust was sentenced to life in prison plus 15 years. The sentence, handed down by Judge William Collins, ensured that Yust would spend the rest of his life behind bars. Yust, however, maintained his innocence. His legal team filed appeals, arguing that errors were made during the trial. They claimed that certain evidence should have been excluded, and that the jury was prejudiced against their client. The appeals process was lengthy and complex. The Missouri Court of Appeals meticulously reviewed the case, examining the trial transcripts and legal arguments. In August of 2023, the court issued its ruling. The convictions were upheld. The court found no merit in Yust's claims of error. The evidence against him was deemed overwhelming, and the trial was conducted fairly. With the appeals exhausted, Yust's fate was sealed. He would spend the rest of his life paying for the crimes he committed. Section 8. A community remembers the legacy of Kara and Jessica. The murders of Kara Kopetsky and Jessica Runyons left an enduring scar on the Belton community, yet even in the face of such tragedy, their memories live on. Their families have worked tirelessly to ensure that their daughters are remembered not as victims, but for the vibrant young women they were. Each year, memorial walks and vigils are held in their honor. These events serve as a reminder of the ongoing fight against domestic violence and a celebration of their lives. Scholarships have been established in their names, helping other young people pursue their dreams. The case also sparked important conversations about the criminal justice system and the need for better resources for victims of domestic violence. Law enforcement agencies have used this case as an opportunity to learn and improve their responses to similar cases in the future. The legacy of Kara and Jessica continues to inspire positive change in the community and beyond. Their stories serve as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope and resilience can prevail. Section 9. A Call to Action. Recognizing the signs of domestic violence. The tragic deaths of Kara and Jessica remind us of the devastating impact of domestic violence. It affects countless individuals and families across the country. We must recognize the signs and take action to prevent it. Domestic violence includes physical, emotional, sexual, and financial abuse. It is often a pattern of power and control in intimate relationships. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, you are not alone. There are resources available to help. Reach out to a trusted friend, family member, or domestic violence hotline. Remember, there is hope, and help is available. Let us honor Kara and Jessica by working together to create a world free from domestic violence. By raising awareness, supporting victims, and holding abusers accountable, we can create a brighter future for all.